I'm having a private party, learning how to love me, celebrating the woman I've become, yeah.
This is Queen Talk Tuesdays, and it's all about self-love, baby. Hi everyone, I'm so happy to be making my very first video for Inspired Definition. Just to give you a little backdrop on what ID is, it is just showing a little bit of my journey and reclaiming the definition of who I am and, you know, not who society has told me to be. So that's Inspired Definition. You can find videos from Inspired Definition on Ebb Inspires on YouTube, and I'll have my blog up and running very soon. Today is Queen Talk Tuesday, my very first Queen Talk Tuesday, and I feel like a topic that would be the most fitting will be about self-love because it is Valentine's Day. No shade. So 2 years ago, back in 2015, June of 2015, I guess it's been almost 2 years, I left my job. I was just in this routine of going to work,
going to sleep, going to work, making good money, mind you.
It really sucked. I was not happy. I was not satisfied. I didn't really know myself. I didn't have time to enjoy the fruits of my labor. And I was just so not happy where I was. So I remember one weekend, I fasted and I prayed. And that Monday, I went in and I quit my job. And once I did it, I felt so empowered, you know, so happy, so liberated for a few days. And then came the reality.
I now have no job. I'm broke. And now I'm stuck with Ebb. What I'm gonna do with me?
And I never in my life, not even when I was in school or summer breaks, anything like that, I never in my life had that much time on my hands because everything was just a process. You go
to school, you graduate high school, I went to college, I graduated in college, I was working while I was in college, working after college, into this full-time job, starting a career.
I never had time to actually sit and be alone. And I realized that when I was alone, I really did not like myself. I didn't like me. Going into my adulthood and my womanhood, when I had the freedom to do what I wanted to do, I created this image of who I wanted people to perceive me to be. I had this persona that I created. I never let anybody see me in my natural form. I had gone natural hair-wise. Nobody saw my natural hair. Nobody saw any of my little curls, my BDBs, my whole stage, because I kept it covered. I wasn't happy with me all natural. I didn't like the Ebony in her rawest form. I didn't like her, and that's really sad. You know what I mean? I realized that when I was stuck with being with myself, and I went through days of just crying. Days of just crying, days of just being upset, days of questioning myself. Without actually knowing it, I was starting my self-love journey. And the first thing I had to do with myself was to be honest. Now, any relationship that I've had, my number one thing has always been honesty, and I think that's everybody's number one. Whether it's a relationship, a romantic relationship, or a friendship, you need honesty, and I don't think that we give that to ourselves enough. We're not brutally honest with ourselves because we don't want to face the reality of what's going on in our lives. And I had to take a moment to actually be brutally honest with Ebb. I had to be honest with her, and this brought up a lot of issues, a lot of things that I was doing that was hurtful to not only myself but those around me. Just realizing how I communicated, realizing a lot of things about my emotional health, realizing there was a lot of unforgiveness in my heart towards those that were, you know, in my past and also in my present. So after going through the whole process of being honest with myself, building myself up, I had to make sure that I kept that maintained. So I always heard about affirmations, but I was just like, you know, I tried the whole sticky note on the mirror thing and all this, that, and the other, and it still works. It works today, you know, but I just needed something more. I needed something more than just a little boop. Very fortunate to have good friends in my life that have great musical taste, and during that season, I was listening to, even though she's younger, I was listening to Alessia Cara. I love her message, and I just love the way she is confident in being herself, her true self. And of course, the good trusted, you know, Erykah Badu, India Arie. I love Lauryn Hill. One of my friends introduced me to an album I had never heard before by her, and it was great. It was Unplugged 2.0, I think. Check that out, y'all. That's a whole nother topic. But I love my Beyonce and you know, my Rihanna and all those people because they had this confidence that I wanted to possess. They had this just fierceness about them that I know I'm not there yet, but they had that. They exhibit that, and I love that about them. And you need that balance, you know what I mean? It's good to know and love yourself, but you need to go out and be confident, not cocky, not egotistical, but confident to the point where you're like, I know I'm good, like I know I'm beautiful, I know I'm worth it. So after that, I realized I needed to switch up my routine. It was a lot of trial and error. There were a lot of things that I tried that did work, that didn't work. But where I'm at right now, as of today, my routine is starting off the day with gratitude. I think that's just so important. I smile because it always humbles me, starting off the day with saying what I'm thankful for. Not even saying it, but writing it out and just telling God what I'm thankful, for him doing and what he has already done. And reminds you of where you've come from and how much you already have, and it kind of makes any issues that you were thinking about when you woke up that morning about what you had to do today, it just makes it so little. So I had to definitely make sure I show gratitude, and then from gratitude I went on into meditating. I knew how important it was to meditate, how important it is to your health and your mental well-being, but actually doing it was a whole nother story. I could barely get through 5 minutes without being like going crazy, because of all my thoughts. But little by little, I went from like 2 minutes to 5 minutes into now like, around 10 to 15 minutes. So after meditating and, showing my gratitude and meditating, I will go ahead and write out my expectations for the day. I write it all out, everything that I want to do and accomplish in that day. And this is the most important thing for me. I realize that I'm not going to use any negative statements in my expectations. I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction, and whatever you think about, whatever you focus your mind and your energy on will happen. So you have to be very careful with your words. This is like the basis of faith. So with all these things, it was really shaping and forming my self-love journey. And I want to emphasize the importance that it's a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a race. Like, you never end this journey. You never get to a place of perfection. And initially I couldn't wrap my head around that. I was thinking like, oh, if I'm really doing this now, then next year I should be like at the top of self-love. I'm gonna be
Great. Like, I'm just gonna be so in love with Eb. Like, oh my gosh, you're not just gonna look at me and just see love all over. Yeah, no. Be realistic.
The next thing that I had to do in this journey of self-love, or I didn't realize I was subconsciously doing, is I was shaping and forming like my core group. Fortunately for me, I didn't really have to remove a lot of people from my life. Someone once told me that you need to have 3 people in your life. You need to have someone who is where you want to be, like a mentor, someone who's pouring into you and just imparting their wisdom onto you and being honest with you, giving you constructive criticism mixed with love. And then the next person is someone who's on the same level as you, someone who is like your accountability partner. You guys are in the same situation. They understand you because they're going through the same thing with you, which I was fortunate enough to have, in my life during this season. Thanks, friend. And the next person you need to have is someone you can impart wisdom on, someone you can pour into, like a little sister or a little brother, not literally, but someone who who can be your mentee, because that kind of helps everything come in full circle. Just keeps you centered and rooted in love, and knowing that this whole process is just so important. So the goal is to just encourage you guys to continue to love yourself. If you're starting this journey, or if you're on this journey now, just to continue to just to support you and let you know that it's literally a journey. It's not a race, it's a marathon. And this is the most beautiful part of it. Loving you is the foundation of how everyone else is supposed to love you. And for me, I can speak from experience that when I didn't love myself, that sort of, set the tone for how other people should treat me. And I'm never going back to that. I'm never going back to accepting less than what I deserve. So I encourage you guys so much, in the midst of all these man-made holidays and everybody got their booze and receiving flowers and all that. That's cool and that's fine and that's dandy. But go make yourself some dinner, girl or guy, or go treat yourself to some dinner. Get you some wine, get you some chocolate, or make some brownies, have a little sweet treat like I like to do, and have you a good time for this Valentine's Day. But every day should be a day to show yourself some love. So I love you guys so much, and I'm so happy to finally be finished with this first video. It's been a long time coming, but stay tuned to Inspired Definition. My YouTube is Eb Inspires. I have a lot more coming with blogs and just a lot of fun topics for you guys. But tune in every single Tuesday for Queen Talk Tuesdays. And I love y'all. And be you and be inspired, and peace, because I'm about to go eat.